Mario over the rainbow. A press. TJ Henry Yoshi jump. That cannon platform. In this video jamboree, I'll be explaining exactly what I do to watch for rolling rocks in 0.5 A presses. But first, we need to talk about parallel universes. Because every time I post a jamboree video, I get the same comments over and 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 even though I always have a whole Scuttlebug in the description explaining it, which even starts with, if you're wondering what a Scuttlebug jamboree is, commenting to ask. But maybe what you guys need isn't a Scuttlebug, maybe you guys need an example. So, consider not even the whole star, just consider getting to watch for rolling rocks, which is a necessary part of getting the star. So, how many A presses does it take to get watch for rolling rocks well, if you say 0, that's wrong, because then Mario can't watch for rolling rocks, and if you say 1, well, it's true that Mario can get there with 1, but we can do a little better. We can do it in half an rolling rocks. To do that, we start the level already whole, and then we use that A press to reach the platform. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. An A press is an A press is an A press is an A press. You can't say it's only a half. Well, TJ Yoshi, hear me out. An A press actually has 4 parts to it. When A is pressed, when A is held, and when A is released, and when A is Yoshi, and together this forms one complete A press. Now, usually it's the pressing that's TJ Henry Yoshi useful, because that's the only part that makes Mario jump for rolling rocks. However, sometimes it's sufficient to just use the whole pressing that part, which allows Mario to swim in water, to fall slowly while twirling, and to watch for rolling rocks. And as for the release, well, there's currently no cases where that's useful or important, so don't worry about that part. Now, if we map out the required A presses for watch for rolling rocks, it would look like this. We merely need to hold A to reach the watch for rolling rocks, so how many A presses is that total? Well, it appears to be 3. Naive answer, and if we were doing this star in isolation, then yeah, it would be TJ Henry Yoshi. But in a full game A button challenge run, there are other A presses that occur earlier in the run, such as this A press needed to get into the course. Currently no cases where that's useful or important. So, if we take that A press into consideration as well, then how many A presses would it take? The naive answer would be 4. 1 to enter the course. However, we can do better. We can actually do it in 3 parts to it, because the half A press only required A to be held, not actually pressed. So in this fashion, watch for rolling rocks only adds on an additional 2 A presses to the run, since the first A press just leeches off of a previous A press. So to capture this phenomenon, we call it 0.5 A presses. On a single star basis, you'd round that up to 3 parts to it. But in a full game run, you'd round it down to 2 parts to it. So, in conclusion, since that first A press counts in some contexts, but adds no additional A presses in other contexts, we refer to it as a half A press. So, going back to the video jamboree, you can see that I start the level with the A button already held, as indicated in the bottom left corner. And so in the full game run, this A press will just leech off of a previous one, Yoshi, and so it won't incur an additional TJ Henry Yoshi. Okay.
Glad that's explained.
Now, what am I doing in the video? Here, I'm doing in the video, using a trick called Scuttlebug Jamboree. You see, like most enemies, Scuttlebugs have a home parallel universe, which is just a parallel universe in 3D space, and they'll patrol a certain radius around that point. So, if Mario enters that radius, we need to talk about parallel universes. And if you thought my other parallel universes complicated, we need to talk about parallel universes. And there you have it. Watch for rolling rocks done in 0.5 A presses. Man, I did not expect this video to become 4 minutes long when I started commentating, but I guess there was just that much to explain.